What's going on, everyone? It's Monday Night Football, and the G-Men versus the vaunted Green Bay Packers. Lombardi, Matic still lingers in the name. Oh, we got Tommy Cutlets, we got Saquon Barkley, we got some injuries to talk about on the Green Bay sideline, starting with the running back situation, starting back with their starting linebacker situation, which may give Tommy a reprieve. We hope. I keep thinking about this game, and I've been thinking about this game now for since the bye week started, and I still have this thought process. James Williams is in the chat, says, "Hit the damn like, hit the damn like already." I've been anyone that's watched the videos last week or the live stream the other week, you know I'm concerned. You know, I have a feeling that this is going to be that Tommy Cutlets may get fried. That this potentially could be the game that the cutlet gets breaded, shredded, and dropped in the pan. The Green Bay Packers aren't the Green Bay Packers they were the first few weeks of the season. They've turned the corner. They are playing. Jordan Love is playing well enough to have this team winning. They have a complement of somewhat. I'm not going to say a solid defense. I'm not going to say a championship defense, but they have a respectable NFL defense. Green Bay, that is. They're going after a kid that has been in the league now for a hiccup, and it's one of those things that you look at this game and you said and the Giants are never good after a bye week. If there was a game for this, if there was a game in a situation right now for the Giants to get smoked, we always talk about the Giant trap games as a trap. There's always a trap game for the G-Men every season, no matter like clockwork. We've gone through this. We've seen this. I've seen this going back to 76. There's always that trap game. And there is the modicum of hope that some Giant fans have for the playoff. Mr. Alvarez so succinctly pointed out. There's always that the possibility of hope for the playoffs, even at a 4-win team. You would have a lot of work to do to make it. What's up, Big Fabian? You would have a lot of work to do to make the playoffs. You would. There would and the work would start tonight. And that would be by taking this. You are at home. You are on a primetime game. You're playing a game against a team. What's up, OG? You're playing a game against a team that you should be comparable to, maybe. And if you had any aspirations of continuing the season in any direction vertically, this would be the day. And Drake May declares for the NFL draft today. We all knew that was coming. This would be the day. This would be the game. This would be the moment. This would be the moment. If Tommy is truly a cutlet, if Tommy is truly the man, then we're gonna look. If Tommy is truly Tommy Two Guns and has the breakout game, then I will be ecstatic. I will be happy. But like I said, I see things in Tommy that you saw that he did at Illinois. And the Packers are a good enough team that they're going to figure out some of the things that wind up, that elongated pitcher's wind up that he has. We've showed it before. I don't know how many times on this show, and people are like, well, you're just showing them. You're just showing the team. Teams what to do. The teams don't watch the show, but we've seen it before. It's that elongated pitcher's motion where he exposes the ball for an extended period of time. He's got a very deliberate and slow windup. We saw a lot of passes get batted down against New England. So I'm just hoping that we don't run into a situation where a lot of people have built, like I said, a lot of people have built up this false idol, and they're going to turn around and tear him down if he throws 3 interceptions tonight. You know what he is? You know what he's got? Let's say hello to the chat. Let's say, James Williams says, if I hear one more person complain about the right call that was made, simple question, how would Mahomes feel if he was in the Bills' shoes last night? That's the big question about the Bills game. And I don't want to talk about the Bills game, but that's a big question. If they don't make that call and Kansas City wins, then you screwed Buffalo. But if you do watch the footage, because people were at the game posted this. Kadarius Toney does check with the ref before that play started. It's actually on Twitter. He does check with the ref to see that he is not having a neutral zone infraction, which I thought was kind of interesting. Jordan Love, the love child, loves the blitz and has a higher completion percentage in a clean pocket than Winks needs to stop blitzing so much and mix it up. Oh, I agree. Mr. Alvarez says, Tim, when you said playoff run, I hope you meant running away from the playoffs to a top 3 pick. You never want to run from a win. I mean, hell, I don't want to lose a game. I really don't. But, it's a little bit more aggravating, if they start winning and there's not going to be a playoff run, a playoff berth. If you know that, and the expectations are if you finish with 7 wins, that you're probably going to get out of contention for any type of quarterback. Now, with Jaden Daniels winning the Heisman, that does not guarantee that he is going to be picked in the top 3, because we've seen plenty of Heisman winners not get picked in the top 3. We've seen Heisman winners not get picked in the first round at all. So I am kind of curious. Yeah, let's see what Zach Attack says. If somehow the Giants make the playoff this year and Timer and Tommy does with Daniel Jones tonight looks even worse, yes. And I'm not even what am I doing? I can't see today. And I'm not saying they will make it. Yeah, if you make the playoffs, right now with Tommy DeVito as your quarterback, you wasted $160 million. And I will never be able to trust Shane in reference to signing any of his players again. That's just fact. Zach Attack is right. That is just stone cold fact. What's up, Fabian? It's all good. What's up, Miguel? What do you have to say for yourself today, Mr. Miguel? How good God does Patrick and Andy complain when they won a Super Bowl on a silly, questionable call? Because they want to win every game they possibly can. I understand that. OG knockout in his house. Fabian says, of course, Drake May has declared for the draft. OGR Sports says, Tim, nothing to break down. We're losing. I'm rooting for them to win despite the honest perspective. The reality is we're playing all playoffs or close to playoff teams of this caliber. And that's the point. And that's the point I want to talk about. That's the point I want to talk about. I think our strength of schedule for these last couple weeks is like one of the highest in the league. When we went on that 6-2 magical run, our strengths we had like the 32nd ranked strength of schedule. And we saw what happened when we played good teams earlier in the season. We understand that. We get that. We're all smart enough fans here to understand that. And that's why I appreciate the people that are always in this chat. But to OGR's point, you're right. I just have this bad, I keep saying I could just have this bad feeling. What would movie was I got a bad feeling about this. Let's see. What's up, Swing Culture says, Tommy Two Guns have a breakout game, then we lose. Team draft pick. I like that one. Let's see. Carl Banks is here. Carl Banks is here with OGR Sports. Yeah. Oh, wait.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, Carl Banks. I love Carl Banks. I love Carl Banks. What's up, Chris? What's going on, my friend? I got Jeff Newman in his house as well. Mr. Albert says, if the Giants win today, they fall to 10th in the draft. If they lose, they move to 4th. God, we better lose. I'm always hoping we win. Maybe that's the stupid in me. But you always hope that they win. But to your point, the more you win and the less you get close to the playoffs, it's just going to be, it's just another day. I mean, we got saddled with $160 million Daniel Jones contract because we won a playoff game. Not because he played well during the season or well enough. He played average. Not because we had won 12, 13 games. No, we went 6-2. They only won 3 games the rest of the season. Not because of any of that, because we made the playoffs and won a game. This looks like if you continue to win, you're probably going to lose twice to Philadelphia. You are not going to make the playoffs. You're going to be a mid-pick. You're not going to get a quarterback. You're going to be hoping that Daniel Jones comes back. And even with that hope of him coming back, you don't even know what you're going to get. And then you're going to have the league have another year of film on Tommy. OG Knox says, I still think Tommy is better than Daniel Jones. I ain't saying much. That's like saying taxes are better than death. What's up, my brother? How's it going? Everything's going good. The ref is not going to confirm yes or no. It was a critical moment. Yes, but he did check with the ref. The ref will not confirm, but he did check with the ref. And multitudes of players will check with the ref before that play. So let's see here. Let's see. Terry McLaurin should be more of an argument than Tony because the ref was next to him and the ref told him to move up, which led to the penalty in the Giants game. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're 100% right. Fabian all says, if you're willing to win by a penalty, you should be willing to lose by a penalty. Listen, all I'm going to say this is about Kadarius Toney, because I do want to talk about the Giant game. All I'm going to say about this, for a year and a half, certain segments of the Giant fan base kneeled at the altar of Kadarius Toney. And now that he's gone to Kansas City, they think he's the worst player ever, that he doesn't have any talent, that he's a knucklehead. It's the same fucking guy we had here. He's just in a different uniform. It's the same guy you loved, and the same shit he did here is what he's doing in KC, except he's staying healthier. And you're shocked. And you like to make fun of him. Well, you know what? I should be making fun of you because of the fact that you thought he was something and it just turned up what it was. What's up, Ken? What's cracking, Tim? Everything's cracking, my brother. Everything's going good. Mr. Alvarez says, so for all the Shane's free saying they were overpaid, it's screaming Gelman all over again. Yeah, I mean, listen, Bobby Okereke, if you go by the market for the off the ball linebacker, yes, we did overpay, but his value to the team is probably more important than his salary. And I know that's weird to say at times, but when you're not that good, that's what it always is. Let's see here. Todd says, the facts the teams looks worse with anyone at quarterbacks. They prove it. Max Custom Kick says, why not the Eagles GM pay Carson Wentz and they made it another Super Bowl? Yeah, they paid Carson Wentz, but they also have Nick Foles. And they also got rid of Carson Wentz. They didn't keep Carson Wentz. They didn't keep Carson Wentz for the term of his contract. They found someone stupid enough to take care of the Carson Wentz contract. So let's see. It happens. It would be like Seattle. Oh God, the Matt Flynn signing. Matt Flynn, of course, he was with the Green Bay Packers. He played when Favre got hurt. He had a couple good games. I think he threw for like 500 yards one game or something crazy like that. And then Seattle signed him off of those games. That was crazy. Green Bay is not good enough to expose the Giants' defense. I think they are. I don't think their running game is going to be what it, I don't think the running back game is that great. But I will say this, if you take a look at them and way they have been playing the last, if you take the last how many weeks, I mean, let's see here. Let's just pull this up real quick. But if you take a look at the way they're playing right now, they're on a 3-game winning streak. They beat the Chargers, the Lions, and the Chiefs. And they won at Detroit. Now, Detroit's a good team. And they beat Kansas City at home. So they held Kansas City to what, 19 points. I mean, I'm not looking like this. They're going to I don't think they're going to set the world on fire. But, Aaron Jones is questionable still. I think he's going to be out. What's his name? Christian Watson is out with the hamstring. Alexander, the corner, is out with the shoulder. A.J. Dillon was a full practice with the groin, but so he's going to play. I don't think A.J. Dillon was what they thought he was going to be when they got him. But he still has 521 yards. He's still averaging. He's only averaged 3.5 yards a carry. He can also still target. He can catch the ball. He's got 20 receptions on 25 targets. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting. And they still have some guys in the skill position in reference to the wide receivers. I mean, which you got Reed, you got Wicks. I mean, so, it's going to be interesting. James Robinson is on this team still, I believe. Isn't James Robinson on the team now? So it's going to be an interesting game. If you think the Giants are talented, I think that's a good way to put it. If you think the Giants are talented, they should be able to maybe not blow out this team, but be competitive enough to keep it close to win a tight game. If you think that Tommy DeVito is not for real, this is going to be an exposure game. Mike, and you don't want us exposing ourselves. Mike Glenn says tonight will be a preview of the rest of the season. Oh, I like that. Todd says the Eagles might have a reason to try hard against us. They're losing. That's, I keep saying this to people. I said this a couple of weeks back, and I'm not sure some people picked up. I said this a couple of weeks back. I thought Dallas was better than Philadelphia. I said it. I said it about 4 weeks ago, 3-4 weeks ago. You can go back and look at the video. I said it. I think Dallas is better than Philadelphia. And I said a lot of people in the league think Dallas is better than Philadelphia. And these games that Philadelphia has with the Giants may be games that the Giants need to win. I mean, excuse me, that the Eagles are going to need to win against the Giants. I said that. I mean, I don't know what else to say. So I'm already counting those two as losses. So in my mind, that's already you're at 10 losses. And I don't want a 7-10 team making the playoffs. Mr. Alvarez says, I will root for them to win when they actually have a good team and not go up against a fluke run, i.e. 2022, 2017. You're not wrong. Chris says, I have to sit here and hope DJ comes back to a day to play well. Then I believe in the Hey-oh. Dom D says, Patrick Mahomes is such a punk. I lost. You can't say that because he got screwed. He got screwed in Philadelphia, and he didn't say anything at all. I lost count of the amount of games the Chief won via penalty. Yeah, but he's also manned up a plenty. He manned up in Philly, too. Chris says, so tired of hearing all the noise around DJ. We need to move on. I agree 1,000%. Fabian says, guess that guy was right. Hurts just not looking good, like something is bothering him. I still think something's wrong with Hurts. I think something's wrong with Hurts, and I think something's wrong with Josh Allen. I've been saying that for weeks about Jalen. He doesn't look like the same guy. He pulled out the fluke win 2 weeks ago against Kansas City, but just something just doesn't look right. Max says, that's my point. They make a mistake, they fix it. Who's to say Shane can't fix his mistakes? But we've made so many different mistakes. And it's not like you made a mistake by signing a safety for $9 million. It's not like you made a mistake like signing a wide receiver for $4 million. It's not like you made a mistake by trading for a tight end who's got hamstring issues and is on the wrong side of 30. It's not like it's a mistake that you let offensive line talent who's excelled like in Baltimore. There are a lot of mistakes by Shane. I mean, there's a lot of mistakes that Shane has made. And you made the biggest mistake with the biggest contract at the biggest position on this team. And that's giving a guy almost 20% of your salary cap next year. And you still don't know what he is in year 6. Zach Attack says, who remembers Blake Bortles when Jacksonville played Blake Bortles? Yeah, he had over 4,000 yards, like 38 touchdowns. He almost beat New England to take him to the playoffs. They gave him that big contract, and he folded. It's James, my brother from another mother. What's up, James? Salute to the chat, says Mr. Williams. Of course, Mr. Williams and his lovely counterpart were here at the OBB house this weekend. And we got to spend a good time with him and his girl, and we went out with T-Brad and his wife. So that was awesome. I had a really good time with James. I had a really good time meeting T-Brad finally in person. That was a lot of fun. So, hopefully we're going to get to do that soon again. Jeff says, remember, Tim, TD Tommy D has to find 5 wins to get to 9-8, and we still may not, and we may get a wild card. Oh, I know. I know. Jeff, I know it. You know it, but some people don't. Salute to my brother, says James. Thank you again. Left side, of course, is the strong side. KC and Detroit are mid this year. They're both probably going to make the playoffs. LJ's in the house. What's up, LJ? What's going on, man? Dan says, but is anyone on Green Bay eating cutlets before the game? If you don't eat cutlets, it's not Tommy time. Let's see here. Greg says the same thing we were saying earlier. I see an exposure game. Good evening, Kevin. How you doing? I'm thinking this. I like I said, Greg, I don't have the bad feeling you get when Daniel Jones goes to a primetime game. I don't have that bad feeling. I just got the bad feeling that Tommy, and if he loses, can we call him Illinois Tommy? Because if you watch him, he's doing the same things he did at Illinois. He didn't have much success there. Sometimes sometimes they have short spurts and runs of competitiveness, and you hope that he continues to matriculate the ball down the field. But I'm slightly concerned. LJ says Hurts is definitely Yep, Hurts is definitely hurt. Yep, I agree. Hurts has a shoulder injury again, according to Bleeding Green Nation. Well, they're not that bright. Well, he might though. Jeff says I still think Mara had a lot to do with signing the DJ. Well, the general. I mean, we always talk about that, but the owner, when you're giving $160 million to a player, even though only 90 of it's guaranteed, yeah, they're going to have some input. That's not like the owner's just going to go to Shane. Hey, take $160 million of my money and just give it to that kid. I don't fucking care. I'm a billionaire. What does Kevin say? Kevin says, I don't know if anyone said it yet. I cannot do another year of DJ. I hope for the future. And no matter what you put around DJ, it won't matter. He will never be what he is not. People have said it. People have said it. I'm not gonna lie to you, Kevin. People have said it. The Jaden Daniels thing winning the Heisman, that just makes me laugh a little bit though. Because now, of course, with the expectations, the last Heisman winner of the Giants draft, of course, was Ron Dane. And I should tell you something. I mean, I like I said, in Jaden still looks small to me, guys. I saw him in that suit, and I still think he looks small. He looks slight of build. But I think the giant Twitter expectation is getting deeper and deeper infatuated with Jaden now that he has won the Heisman. And winning the Heisman is no lock, no guarantee. Hell, it's not even a ticket to the first round sometimes. And Jaden Daniels is definitely a first round talent, 100%. But there are things that you are going to need to do to make Jaden successful. And we've talked about this before. It's not going to be a Kyler Murray situation where you're going to have to rebuild an entire crazy, wonky Oompa Loompa offense because of the fact that you do have an Oompa Loompa in the background. But you are going to have to figure something out to use his skill set. And I laugh because Fabian says Mr. 185 soaking wet. Somehow he went up to 225 on the LSU website the other day. I don't know if that was a typo. I don't know if that was a mistake, but he was up to 225. Somehow we got bigger all of a sudden. Just say Green Bay's run defense and secondary is Swiss cheese. It is Swiss cheese, but outside of Saquon Barkley, you also they have a pass rush. They're not devoid of talent in reference to going after the quarterback. And as much as people want to talk about it, you got Gary with 9 sacks, you got Smith with 5.5, you got Clark with 4.5, you got Watt with another 3, you got Brooks with another 3. Which is name? You got Van Ness with I think 2 or 3. They got some guy, and honestly, the Vegas Raiders do not have a great defense outside of Matt Crosby. So I mean, it's half one dozen another. Custom says it depends if he loses competitively, he's okay with me. But if we get blown out, there will be an issue considering Tyrod is healthy. Oh my God! I'm going to tell you right now, this is the worst thing for Tommy Cutlets right now playing at home. I actually wish to God this game was in Green Bay. Because if he throws an interception or fumbles or does something stupid, this crowd is going to flip a switch. This crowd is going to flip a switch, and they are going to be calling for Tyrod Taylor. They're going to be begging for Tyrod Taylor. Tom, the Cutlet will be burnt if he does anything that this crowd does not like. Because this crowd is a fickle giant crowd. Because you still have a segment of the crowd that wants Tommy. You still have a segment of the crowd that wants Tyrod. So yeah, I hope for this kid's sake he throws for 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, and win or lose the game because this crowd's just going to destroy him. Diet Go says Tim of the Fam, what's up? Zach Attack says, I see an exposure game, but I can see this is going to be a coming out game if he beats the Green Bay Packers. If he beats the Green Bay Packers, I will tell you this. I'm still not going to be sold on him. I watched a great Rick Meyer play. Especially that first season. I've seen quarterbacks have 6-7 good games in a row in their career and never have a good game again. I need to see what happens. You talk to me when we get up to a game like Philadelphia, or if we get into a game, if we played Pittsburgh again or something like that. You are not Pittsburgh. If we play Dallas or even Pittsburgh, then beat good competition, beat excellent competition, beat competition. I'll do you one better, and this would hopefully be the Green Bay Packers. Beat competition that you are supposedly comparable to. Then I will get excited about Tommy DeVito. Everyone's like, well, just enjoy the story. I'm not here to enjoy the story. I'm not here to feel good about a story. I'm not here to have a feel good moment about a kid. I want to win some fucking games. And I don't want to just win some games against inferior opponents for 2 or 3 games this season. I literally want to win some games. And I don't know, some crazy shit. Make the playoffs. Playoffs? Hit the like button. It's because I got the T-Bread in his house. Hit the like button. But I want to win some games. And I want to win some games consistently. I want to be like the Pittsburgh Steelers. I want to be like the Philadelphia Eagles. I want to be like the Dallas Cowboys. I want to be like Miami. I want to be like Kansas City. I aspire to be Detroit. Win some games. I've said it a million times. Daniel Jones is a good kid. Great. Let him go sell insurance. Tommy DeVito loves his mother. Great. Wonderful. I would rather have an asshole who can read defenses and win me some games. I keep thinking of Glenn Ross. You're a good father. Fuck you. Go home and play with your kids. That was a great movie. Fabian says, Mr. 185, or is that Mr. 305? Soaking wet can barely lift 225 pounds above his shoulders. Like I said, somehow he's up to 220 at the LSU website. Custom Kick says it's okay. His athleticism's arm talent and Dable and Saquon will be scary. Online says he's 6'4". Hope that's accurate. I don't know. We'll see what Jalen Daniels. We will see if he's got college 6'4". Lowell says that they weighed him with all his equipment on and holding the 20-pound weight. Hey-o, he is trembling, lifting the Heisman. He didn't look like he was going to lift the Heisman. I didn't think he was going to. The Heisman is, you know what's funny? The Heisman Trophy is not what you call it. Is not light. I mean, the Heisman Trophy. You know what's funny? The Heisman Trophy. I'm trying to remember. The Heisman Trophy weighs, I think, 50 pounds. It's something like that. It weighs like 50 pounds. It weighs anywhere between 45 to 50 pounds. So that is not an easy thing. Hold on. Let me see. Okay, hold on. How much does the Heisman Trophy weigh? Heisman Trophy is one of the heaviest trophies in sports. Hasn't changed much over the years. Coming in at 45 pounds, 14 inches long, 30 inches in height, 6 inches in width. No doubt winners have a trouble getting it through airport security. So it is 45 pounds. High five, Tim. Got it right. Todd says, hey, they only gave up 3 to the team we beat in the playoffs last year, lol. Kevin says, a lot of people question why the OC calls the plays and pushes the ball down for Tommy DeVito and DJ. Maybe there's there. That is a valid, we've talked about that, Kevin, here. That is a valid question. That is 100% a valid question. Why does our offensive coordinator, or maybe it's not the offensive coordinator, maybe it is our old buddy Brian Dable. He pushes the ball. He's trying to push the ball a little bit downfield with the same offensive line that we have. The offensive line hasn't changed. The offensive line hasn't gotten any better. The offensive line hasn't gotten any different, but he's trying to push the ball down with this offensive line. Why? What's the difference? Here's Jaden Daniels. He looks look at those guns though. He's got the gun show. He's got the gun show working. But he's right. We do push the ball down a lot more with Tommy. Is it the fact that there is more of a comfort level with Jaden? I mean, with Jaden, I'm already thinking about Jaden Daniels. Is there a comfort level with Tommy DeVito over Daniel Jones? I don't know. That's honestly a great question. Zach Attack says, don't forget the Packers have the great Corey Ballentine. He's actually played well this season. It's funny. So has Isaac Yiadom over in with the Saints. Let's see. Mike says this season is so bad we have to manufacture a Tommy DeVito versus Taylor controversy. Todd says just like how now the dopey Jets thinks Zach Wilson is good again. Oh no, he suck again. It'd be great if I labeled this and Dom. Hold on, wait. Your lack of faith is your people. You know what? You have a problem with your people on Tommy that don't trust Tommy DeVito.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna figure this out one day. One day over the rainbow. So no, here we go. You can do it.
Oh no, we suck again.
We got the T-Brad in the his house. Ain't no party like a T-Brad party because the T-Brad party don't stop. What's up, Mr. T? Like I said, Saturday night. It was Saturday night. It was the T. It was his lovely wife. It was James, his lovely girlfriend, and it was me and Mrs. Online Big Blue hanging out. It was a lot of fun. Great time. Here are the boys drinking. So you know what? We had it was a really good time. I really did enjoy it. Like I said, it's nice when you get to actually meet nice people and get a chance and get an opportunity to actually meet them in person and hang out with them. James Williams says, how effective Evan Ingram is on the team with a real quarterback. He had 2 touchdowns yesterday, even with the loss. Tommy says, Max says, sold on him as a future backup. Yes, as a starter. As a starter, no. Unless he beats Philadelphia, the 49ers, or Dallas. If he does that, then I think he's a starter. Ryan Fitzpatrick had great point. Ryan Fitzpatrick had 6-7 good games with 24 teams in the league. You're not wrong. Robbie says, don't see us winning this one. T-Brad says, hit the like button. 70 viewers and 20 likes is not acceptable. I don't disagree. Word says Big LJ. James, look, Evan Ingram he wasn't all pro last year or a Pro Bowler. Let's see. I agree. Hit the like button. Big Greg says, I don't want to win any more games. We need a top 5 pick. I think that is out. I think that's here's my thing. If the defense is as good as people are saying, now this defense is giving up a lot of points and a lot of weird points. If the defense is good as they're saying, you should be able to handle the love child. You should be able to stifle AJ Dillon. You should be able to do all those things that you think you should do, you can do, and then some, and then have enough offense to get through the Packer defense. If you think you are good enough, you should be able to do this. Does anyone want to talk about the fact that the Seattle Seahawks have not won a game since they traded for Leonard Williams? Does anyone else want to talk about that? Does anyone want to talk about that? I'm curious about that one myself. Mike Glenn says Daniel Jones couldn't have put 2 good games together and got $160 million on a Hall of Fame status from half the fan base. You're not wrong. Mr. Esquire says, I want to make the playoffs 3 or 4. I want to make the playoffs. I want to make the playoffs consistently. I don't want to make the playoffs and then not go for another 6 years. I don't want to make the playoffs and not go for another 10. I don't want to win 1 game or no games. I want to be consistent. I want to see Shane or someone build a consistent winner. But if you're talking about all the good things that Shane has done, there are a lot of knucklehead things that he has done as well. The Daniel Jones contract is one of them right off the bat. The Waller trade is another one right off the bat. The Paris Campbell signing. Paris Campbell came out and said, nobody wanted me. Giants really wanted to offer me $4.5 million. I took it. There's some questionable draft picks. There's the Saquon Barkley fiasco. There's the Daniel Jones fiasco. there's getting rid of certain offensive linemen that went on to be Pro Bowlers and like, I don't know, Baltimore. So I don't have all my faith in the Shane basket right now. Robbie says it won't be this year, pal. No, I don't think it's gonna be this year either. Kevin says, I find it funny that our third string quarterback that still lives with his parents runs the offense better than our $160 million quarterback. Mike says the only good thing lifting weights doesn't determine the ability to play quarterback. No, it does. Don't you remember when Daniel Jones gained all that weight and gained all that muscle? That was going to make him the best quarterback in the league. I remember this clearly. Look at Daniel Jones's leg muscles. That made him the best quarterback we had, the best quarterback out there. You don't know anything, Mike. Of course that makes you a great quarterback. It's 25. No, the Heisman 45. 45 pounds. Your dreams are never heavy. Ooh, that's a good one, Robbie. Miguel says, what does Miguel say? ¿Dónde está Miguel, por favor? It says, Reeves, Gettleman, and now Shane have turned our 300 Sparta team into the Rockets. Add fairy dust. Yeah, you're right. I love the Vader sound effect says. Oh, I love the Vader. The Vader one's always my favorite one. Roy says, what does Roy say? I took off, got my medicine, and brown liquor. Go Giants. Hopefully you don't need them both. Robbie says, it's like Linsanity, except this is not a good team. Well, the Linsanity team was not a good team either. It was just he carried them, and then he punked out when he tore his meniscus and couldn't play in the playoffs. If you want to be 100% honest about Jeremy Lin, he punked out. He tore his he tore his meniscus. It's a 2-week thing. Everyone said it's a 2-week thing. I've torn my meniscus and my mid meniscus. It's a microfiber surgery. You're walking the next day. It's a 2-week operation. He did not want to devalue his contract status going into the offseason with a bad playoff appearance. If you want me to be honest. Hello, Skyline says, hello, everyone. Sorry, I'm late. Is anyone out with an injury? For the Giants or for the Green Bay Packers? For the Green Bay Packers, if we go through the injury reports again, looks like Alexander is out. Watson is out. Walker is out. Aaron Jones is out. So, you know, there's an opportunity. We're getting there. Yo, what? Yo, tap in and let's get a W tonight. That's what matters. Bleeding blue till I'm gone. T. Brad says it was a party. It's my party and I'll rhyme if I want to. And I didn't. Trading Leonard Williams seems to be the death keel for Seattle. Lifetime for the Giants besides the Vegas game. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Chaz Giamatti. Oh, my God, Chaz Giamatti. I remember him, too. Yes, and those that do not know, I posted it today. Pest the Analyst, who, of course, he passed away. He lost his battle with cancer a couple weeks back. Pest was a friend of the show. I knew Pest for a couple of years now, and you know, I considered him a friend off the show as well. I've talked to him a few times, and I always had the green light to go on his show, which was awesome. And I've said it before. The one thing I loved about Pest, he could have 5 people in the room and he'd still have the same enthusiasm and same passion as if he had 150. And that's what I loved about Pest. And you had to love his passion. And I always tell the story that Pest and I started off hating each other. I didn't hate him because I didn't even know, but he hated me. He hated me with a fucking passion. I could show you some DMs and some things and some comments. It's like, holy shit, this guy doesn't like me. And then we went on about 3 years ago. I think it was 3 years ago. It was my first year on. And we were on Bird Gang 31. It's a Philadelphia Eagles channel. We did like a round table. And then him and I kind of started, you know, we kind of paired up during that. And then it kind of just went from there. And he actually did, he filled in for the draft live stream where I was, when I was actually when I was at the party. So he filled in for that. And like I said, I've gone on this show and with him and Rob, I don't know how many times. And it was one of those things that he would always invite me and I would tell him, I'm not going to show up. Then I would just show up. So, and he was always very magnanimous about it. He always, he was always a guy that even when the show ended, man, we would still stay online for like another 45 minutes talking Giants, another hour talking Giants. So, you know, it's of course he's leaving his lovely wife. And it's one of those things that you have these losses in the Giant community. This isn't the first one we had this year. But like I said, Pest was something special. Pest was something special, I know, to me and to R0B and a bunch of other people. So I mean, it was a shock when I got the call, and I actually got the call from Rob. So I mean, it was like I said, I can always see Pest just sitting there, just screaming, and that always makes me smile. But at the end of the day, you're not going to see that again. And it's like I said, I wish his family well, and all the sympathies in the world for for Pest. And like I said, I've said it before. Hope the Giants can get a win today for Pest. Rob says, did the Bills and the Chiefs play on Sunday, or did I just experience the Mandela effect? No, they did play. Jordan Love is due for a bad game. This isn't he isn't that good, and the media has hyped him up for a couple of good games. Wait a minute. So Jordan Love isn't that good, but the media's hyped him up for a couple games to kind of bolster him a little bit, to make him seem like he's better than he is. We have a quarterback like that on the Giants. Zach Attack says, do you think the defense is good, or is Wink calling? I still think Wink's play calling is the issue. I think he still blitzes too much. He's dialed back the blitzes. You know what? You know who you need to step up today? Kayvon Thibodeau needs to step up today. There's no ifs, ands, or buts on anything about this. Kayvon Thibodeau needs to step up today. There's no, this cannot be, to use a James Williams little comment, this can't be a Casper game. He can't disappear on this one. He had 5 tackles and half a sack against the Pats. Like I said, he disappeared against the Raiders, 1 tackle, disappeared against the Bills, disappeared against the Cardinals, disappeared against the Cowboys that first week of the season. I mean, it's one of those things that he's got to step up. This is the game that you want to be this guy, you want to be this monument to perfection. You want to do all these things. You need to step it up, and you need to be consistent. We've talked about this game before. He's got 3 games where he has 7 sacks. And there's more than 3 games in a season. So he needs to find that switch, because there was always the speculation, there was always the rumor that out of Oregon that he took a lot of plays. He took plays off. We've seen it. We've seen him take games. I've seen him get manhandled by a tight end. But then I've seen him with an unstopping motor to go after Zach Wilson and that loss against the Jets to get that sack. So he's got to show something. And I think I just saw something from Mike. I didn't get to read it, but the offensive line for Green Bay, would I say they're good? No. Would I say they're a little above average? Yes. And Kayvon has the propensity to disappear against average offensive linemen. Greg says Love is the hottest quarterback in the league right now. The Love child is. You have to give the Love child his dues. He's got 22 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. Daniel Jones fans would be wetting the bed. He's also got another 231 yards rushing. He's got 24 total touchdowns. Daniel Jones fans would be wetting the bed if Daniel Jones had those stats. We would be hearing MVP chants. Todd Taylor says, yes, I want a good team, not a team that needs shit luck to beat a good team. Mike, what does Mike say? Will the defense show up tonight or give up 30 or 40 points? I hope they show up. Skyline says, playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. Are you kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we win the game. Eric Gray alone should be a Eric Gray alone should be a fireable offense for the Joe Shane. I hated that sign. Love the kid. Great kid. Talked to him a couple times. I put up pictures with me and him together. Great kid. Just not a good running back. Let's see here. Mike Glenn says the Giants should last 6 to 7 years before consistently in bidding wars for themselves. Mike says, stupid me, muscle man. Jones is elite. I knew you forgot that, Mike. I knew you forgot Daniel Jones bulked up twice. Gained like 40 pounds. That makes you a great quarterback. One of my favorite thumbnails is this was when Daniel Jones bulked up the first time, and I took Hulk hands and I put it on his hands. because everyone was saying that's going to make him a great quarterback. Zach, and he was going to hold on to the ball tighter. Everyone likes to blame Bobby Johnson for the O-line issues, but if you look objectively, he was given a bad hand, no guard, and a quarterback who likes to run into sacks. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Mike, hey, what's up, Big Mike? What's going on? Kevin says, I think the Mara is dictating some of the Shane decisions. I think Shane knew DJ wasn't the guy, but DJ called. Listen, if you knew DJ wasn't the guy, you signed Saquon Barkley, you franchise tagged Jones. Yeah, you would have taken a $32 million hit. Your cap space already sucked this year, which is why you had to get rid of Leonard Williams. You would have eaten it this year again, been competitive in 2024, and seen a better result with your talent. But we're not going to talk about it. That's for pest. Let's see here. Can't wait to see Tommy holding a Super Bowl trophy. Maybe hold Super Bowl trophy. I'll be real happy. But is he going to go like to Dallas or something? Tibbs like it'll be a no-show. Green Bay has an average offensive line. Yeah, for the love of MMA. Big surprise. What's up, Chris? Let's go. Hope you've been doing well. Let's go, Big Blue. Surprised we are only 2-1 Monday Night Dogs. I didn't know the spread was. Matt LaFleur is 16-0 in December. The Giants have an undefeated streak, and I'm just being a homer right now. Hope you are. Eric Gray is still on the team. He finally came back from injury. Mr. Alvarez said a few weeks back in a pregame show, the commentary says 32 O-lines have allowed the most sacks in NFL history. So it's not just the Giants with O-line issues, it's every team in the NFL. I agree. Let's see. Yak says, if you're trying to win, do you agree with starting Tommy DeVito? Yes, I do. I know Tyrod is pissed about it. Rightfully so, because he's a competitor and he wants to play. But if I am trying to win tonight, I'm not saying that Tommy DeVito talent-wise gives you the best opportunity to win, but he's got the locker room, he's got the huddle, and he's got the fan base behind him. So yes, this was the right decision. Crazy question. I like crazy questions. Crazy question. Do we ever run a sweep trap? No, we're not allowed to do that. Come to think of it, does anyone else the trap play? No. Counter tray? No. They haven't run the counter tray since John Riggins. Captain Matomo says, how do the Knicks survive without Mitchell Robinson? They'll figure it out, but I'm not going to get into the Knicks, but yeah, they need to figure out without Mitchie the Kid. I like Lurch. That's Harkenstein. I call him Lurch. I like Lurch. But the way, well, I don't want to talk about it though, but the way this team is constructed, the Knicks, I did not like the way the roster is constructed. I do not like the fact that you have no one to back up Julius Randle. I see what Obi Toppin is doing. I'm crazy about what Obi Toppin is doing because against when they played in the in-season tournament, the Pacers in that fourth quarter, Toppin was on the. Yeah, I know they're going to say, well, he had the ankle injury, but he played most of the game. He sat the entire fourth quarter in a win against the Celtics. He sat the entire fourth because he can't play defense. Let's see. Skyline says, and there's a lot of players on the Knicks that can't play defense. Skyline says it's a bad sign if we get rid of players for money and reason and not because he sucked. Yeah, I did not like I had no problem what they got for a return with Leonard Williams. I just did not like the fact that they they did it for salary cap reasons. And they had to because they didn't have any operational cap space. Mike says, what does Mike say? I'm not making any excuses for Shane. He's made his bet. Zach says, Taylor's injury history doesn't help us either. Oh, 100% not. Coach Dave, what's up, Coach? Says, hey, bud, how's it going? It's going well, Coach. It's always going good. Zach says, the Cowboys and the Dolphins run the trap pretty well and pretty often. Yeah, they do. They do run trap, but I was talking calling I don't know what the hell I was talking about. I'm too tired right now. Todd says the offensive O-line is like an arcade now. The closest thing we have to an old football is the Eagles, ramming Hurts in the O-line, asses to get a yard, and then Michael also says Kayvon looks like a solid player so far, but not the first round material. He's still young. But his time, he could still put it together. And I do think he's first round material, Kayvon. I think 100% though. But like I said, there was those rumors, there was those rumblings, there was those suggestions or innuendos that he took plays off at Oregon. And I think there's times that we've seen him take not only plays off, but he's taken games off. Like I said, I want to say it was I can't remember what game it was. I want to say, was it the Miami game? But he got manhandled by a tight end. No, you shouldn't do that. That should never happen. So the greatest destructive defensive loss the Giants have had since Lawrence Taylor. And all the idiots are like, well, Parsons, I would take Parsons. I wouldn't take Parsons over Kayvon. And you're a fucking idiot. Because Parsons is a singular destructive force who can cover. Does more for your team, but that's all right. We could have had him. Could have had Josh Allen, too. Not the quarterback. Zach Attack says the inactives are Joshua Corbin, Paris Campbell, Evan Neal, Boogie Basham. Owens are all inactive for today. We should do a draft show together. Of course, I'll do a draft show. We also do the draft live stream, Coach, if you want to come on the draft live stream one day. We do that we do the entire first round, but we can do, I think we will do we'll do a couple draft shows this year. That seems to be popular with the YouTubers. That seems to be popular with the kids. We'll do that. Packers backs are beat up. They force Love to beat you. Like I said, AJ Dillon is going to play. AJ Dillon is healthy enough. I just think that he is not the guy that they thought they were getting with him. AJ Dillon is. And I think, he's been with the team since 2020. He's had years where he's had 800 yards, 700 yards. He's probably going to have another 800 yards again. He's just not the back they envisioned. He's not going to be back with the Packers next year. But I don't think he's the back that they envisioned. I was going to say running back. I couldn't think for a second there. That they thought they had when they got him. So, but he's a quality starting running back. ABC's game, what is this? Joe Buck and Troy Aikman are calling this game. Oh, God, I hate Troy Aikman. I hate when Troy calls the game. I really do. Let's see here. First pick, and let's see. MHG. I can't talk to MHJ. First pick, May 2nd. Kayla, of course, May is already declared for the draft. Here's the problem: you win. We've already said it. You win, you drop to 10th. You lose, you're in 4th, draft position wise. So I mean. Why do you hate Troy Aikman? Because he's a fucking cowboy. Sometimes I root against John Wayne because he's playing a cowboy. I'm a Giant fan, Zach. You know this. You're a cowboy or a commander or an eagle. I root against you. We live in the middle of nowhere, and I go outside and I boo bald eagles. That's why. You got that? A better question. What's a better question, Mike? Better question. Who doesn't hate Troy Aikman? Zach says, do you hate Tony Romo? Of course. He's a cowboy. And I don't like Tony Romo, what he did to Phil Simms. Phil Simms was the lead analyst, and they fired Phil Simms to hire Tony Romo. So he's not only a cowboy, but he got a Giant fired. T-Brad, are you still in the chat? Ox says Buck and Aikman are so dry. James, T-Brad, you guys still in the chat? I was going to throw up the link for a little bit here. I was going to throw up the link. Let's see if you guys are up in there. Come on for a second. Let's see here. If anyone is interested, and I have 2 to give away. If you are interested, and I'm going to say whoever wants it, just type. I'm going to give you the word. But if you want 6 free months of Mint Mobile service on the T-Mobile network with 15 gigs of internet each month, I got 2 SIM cards, and these SIM cards work on any phone. Doesn't matter what phone you have. They work on any, well, it's got to be a phone from the century. But they work on any phone. If you are interested in 6 free months of Mint Mobile service, plus, which includes unlimited talks, text, and hotspots, and will have and allows you also to have 15 gigs of data each month. Just type Mint in the chat, and the first 2 people who type in, if you're interested, type in Mint, I will send you the SIM card. We did this with someone else, and they actually really enjoyed the service. You have a second phone, you want to try Mint Mobile, 6 months of free service. Like I said, 15 gigs of internet a month, unlimited hotspots, unlimited text, calling, all that stuff, all on the fastest 5G network. Just type in Mint, and I will send you a Mint Mobile SIM card if you are interested. Let's see, what do we got here? Let's see. Todd says, I hate the Cowboys as well, but I hate Joe Buck more. Mike says, let's see, I hate Dallas and Philadelphia the most. Washington can beat us. Let's see here. Buck and Aikman are oralists like Daniel Jones. I like that one a lot. Let's say, I just want to get Tim awake. So now that's how I woke him up. I like that. Todd says, when Ryan Reynolds is coming on your show, Ryan Reynolds, yeah, he's coming on the show. Ryan Reynolds is coming on the show real soon. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about it. We got, Big Blue Forever. He is our first winner of the Mint Mobile giveaway. Like I said, we're going to give away one more card. Just type in the word Mint, and I will send you a SIM card, which has 6 months of free service, all on the T-Mobile network for Mint Mobile, which includes unlimited talk, text, hotspots, and 15 gigs of data a month. So all you got to do is type in Mint, and I will send you a free Mint Mobile card. Karen says, I think Tommy was the right choice. He's got us winning in touchdowns and some spark to the Giants team. I agree. Like I said, I don't think he's not the right choice. I think he's the right choice for this game. I really do. He's the right choice. He's the right guy. And I think he is gonna. I think, like I said, I just hope that this is not a crashed Earth game. That's all I hope, that he plows through this, that the team will rallies around him, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. And I hope that we don't run into a situation where he kind of falls apart. And I hope that if he does run into that situation, he is not going to, this fan base isn't going to turn around and turn him against him. And at the end of the day, that's what it is. Like I said, I don't think there's any, like I said, I don't think there's no nefarious motive from Shane. Dable. He's right in the hot hand. Subline says, does the Tommy DeVito story go legendary or down the pooper tonight? I have a problem. I think he is going to go down the pooper tonight. I do think this is going to be a bad game. I think it's going to be a really bad game for Tommy DeVito. And I'm hoping to God that I'm wrong, but sometimes you can see things in a game, and you can see, and like I said, I always go back. I always go back to the photo that I always put up with Tommy DeVito, and it worries me. It's that elongated windup, and he has the ball exposed for such an extended period of time that still to this day worries me. So I'm hoping that we don't fall. I'm hoping we don't fall into that situation. I'm hoping we don't fall into that trap. Dan Orlovsky is a very good color commentator. I agree. Mike says, can we please go back to the 80s and 90s jerseys? Oh, I don't disagree with that. I think I love that. Karen says yes. That's good. The Giants are 2-0 in throwbacks. Ooh, I like that. Who's texting me now? I'm working. Of course, everyone knows our dog passed away a couple weeks back. So, of course, the idiot that I am, I went out and bought another dog. This time I went right to the factory to get this one. Todd says, and we have pictures of the dog. Last night, good regular season primetime games of the franchise. I really can't think of one. I agree. You hide yourself behind the picture. I am hiding myself. I'm going to keep this up so people can see it. I'm keeping this up so people can see it. That's why I kept it up. Let's see. If DeVito puts up a stinker, watch the fan base say he's an undrafted free agent. Didn't expect much of him. I agree. 100%. Let's see here. Sublight says DeVito taking his time is a human possibly. He's even aware of that it's a pickup, and he has a decent. You know what the thing is with Tommy DeVito? Here's the thing with Tommy. His motion has been like this. If you go back and watch Syracuse, his motion's been like this in Syracuse. Probably been like this since college. High school. It's just the way he throws. That's all. There's nothing, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just the way he throws the ball. But like I said, the great Belichick already figured out you could bat balls down from him, and I'm gonna get worried that defenses are going to figure as soon as he exposes himself, you're going to have a second or two to swipe after the ball. Karen says, but don't you think if he loses, the other guys shouldn't give us the touchdown? So what could we do? Nothing you can do. Let's go Giants. That's what you can do. Let's see here, says Mike. The fan base will turn faster on the team than the modern Giants fans or the Philly fans. I don't disagree. All right, guys, we got the Knicks on shortly. We got the Giants on shortly. Knicks are on at 7:30. The Giants are on at 8:20. So what I'm going to do is I just wanted to jump on the stream since I haven't done a video in a couple of days. I want to duck out a little early so I can watch the Knicks for a little bit as well. I'm gonna have the double dual screen going on tonight. So because like I said, we got the Knicks versus the Raptors in MSG, and then of course we have the Giants at home against the Fonte Green Bay Packers. Let's see. Sublime says, what do you say though? I wish we could call more faster play, slants, and such. We just don't have the what you call. We just don't have the talent to do that. Tim will live stream on Sunday at 6:45 a.m. No, it will be 10 o'clock. It'll be 10 a.m. on Sunday. I want to thank everyone for hanging in and hanging out. I want to thank T. Brad and James Williams for hanging out this weekend. That was a lot of fun. Eli's progression. Oh, wait a minute. Eli's progression first 4 years versus Danny Dimes. Eli progressed a lot quicker. And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later. We're not going to talk about that now because I do want to jump off and I do want to catch a little bit of the next game. But I want to thank everyone that hung out for the last hour. It was a lot of fun. Maybe we do a live stream tomorrow afternoon like we normally do on the day after the game. We'll see how late we're up because I got to get up early tomorrow. But we'll see how late we're up tonight to do that. Hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. Hope everyone enjoys the game. Hope to God we get a win. And I hope for Tommy DeVito's sake that this is not a party that crashes down to earth. And as we said it all the time before, you know what it is. This is Tim, the Stuart Giant Straight Talk, powered by Unbound Big Blue LLC. And as always, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell because you want to know why, as always.